Welcome back to another episode of Metamorphosis. Reverse metamorphosis, concept of eggs and black people. Once again, yes, I'm looking forward to hearing from Brother Neil Frazier and what he has to say. We were chopping it up a little bit, but we just never seem to have enough time to chop it up because when you speak to this brother, trust me, the conversation gets more and more interesting as you go by because of the knowledge base that he has. He is definitely not ever has been, ever will be an idiot. When you talk to people immediately, let's just face it. We already can feel what they have, what they don't have. And when you feel his vibration and what he has to say, you just can't get enough of it. Brother Neil Frazier, aka Metamorphosis, welcome on the platform. The floor, as always, is yours.
Thank you, Brother Lance. You know, people, I can't get enough of talking about you, man. Like, it's just a lot of people associate us together now. I don't know if I ever told you that, but now when they see me,
It's an
they
honor.
say, "Frazier," they say, "LANCESCURV,"
Oh,
which is a great
you
thing,
got me on that one.
which is a great thing, brother, because, someone that works as hard as you do for our people, the information that you bring, the weapons that you have fought off for decades in order to continue to be a voice for the voiceless is unmatched. So whenever I get a
Thank you, brother.
chance, I want to celebrate you, brother, because um, you know, everybody celebrated their people, right? But somehow they have us in a situation where another brother that's doing well is seen as a threat. But I just wanted to give you your props, brother, because you deserve that. What you have
Thank you, brother.
accomplished against all the odds, you and your wife, the great things that you guys continue to do. So I'm happy to
Thank
be
you.
back with you. Sorry I had to cancel on Monday, but
No,
things
no.
happen.
Life,
And
yes, those things happen, man. So we roll with the punches. Sometimes
exactly,
there are punches that come our way that we can't deflect with our fists. And we just have to roll with it and minimize the effects of it. That's the way life is. When you make plans, there's always going to be something that takes away sometimes from that.
absolutely.
But the initial energy, the inertia, and the spirit held within brings us back here today. So just like those who celebrate Thanksgiving and say, hey, we ate a Thanksgiving dinner. Well, come back in 2 or 3 days and you find yourself in the refrigerator in the middle of the night taking some of the taste even better. Now, this tonight is not a leftover. What I'm trying to say is that the flavors had a chance to percolate and blend more and become
Yeah,
more explosive. So what you had to
marinade.
say from Monday, exactly, now it's going to be even better because of the anticipation. So for that, I'm thankful.
I love that. I love that marination analogy there because
Yeah.
you're right. We have our plans, but then the real plan happens when it's supposed to happen, not on our time, right? So I was able to
Exactly.
get my favorite parts that I wanted to do this at because regardless to how we look at life, we still have to draw from nature in order to present what we need to present to our people and to those that are moving forward, with this mindset. So today, this is a very important topic, and I was looking for an analogy for our people in regards to the reverse metamorphosis. Oh, and of course, that was a great commentary you wrote, Lance. I've since over the years, I've since looked at a lot of different angles with this, and yours is certainly one of the ones at the top of the list. And we're
Oh,
going to
thank
get
you,
into
brother.
that. Yes, we're going to get into that today. You can
Yes.
see Creator shining through now through the trees.
Yes, that's beautiful. This is a beautiful
Yeah,
shot. Oh man.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You might hear, it's always something going on. It's a major
It's okay.
hospital not far away.
Right.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do, Brother Lance, before we get started, is
Sure.
just to start out with some affirmations.
Sure.
And yeah, because regardless to the issues that are going on in our lives and all around us and the things that are created, we still have to look at life with hope. And
That's right.
we still have to represent the sun and the trees. We have to represent that because they are always providing what we need. Without the trees, we wouldn't have any oxygen. Okay. And without the sun, well, we already know what'll happen if the sun is not shining. Okay. But yeah, I want to go through a few, and you can jump in anytime, Lance. I want to go through a few
Sure.
affirmations here.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Uh, First one, being alone is powerful. It makes you realize you need yourself more, right? Let's see here. When we do nothing, fear takes over. We overcome this by action. If you want to make the wrong decision, ask everyone. That's a good one, huh? If people took back the pain they caused you, you would lose the strength you gained.
Wow.
Life will test you right before it blesses you. If you focus on the hurt, you will continue to suffer. If you focus on the lesson, you will continue to grow. The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. I want to read that one again
Wow.
because somehow we tend to think that there's some kind of magic, something that's going to happen without the law of action being put into motion. The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. Whatever your purpose is, and the work that you were sent here to do, as I like to say, it's looking for you. You chasing something different, but your purpose is looking for you.
Yep.
If I missed one. Oh no, I didn't. You can either be a positive or negative person in life, but only one will get you somewhere. Never expose your next step. I like this one. A fish
Yep.
with a closed mouth never gets caught. That's a good one right there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I might read that again. Never expose your next step. A fish with a closed mouth never gets caught. That is a fact. The people that say you can't and won't are usually the ones that say you shouldn't.
Right?
Be careful how you talk to yourself because you are listening. Okay? You might think you're hearing voices or whatever, but that's you talking to you. That's Neil talking to
That's right.
Frazier. Man's talking to SCURV. Metamorphosis is in the mix as well. You know what I mean? Everything is going, how it's supposed to go.
That's right.
Stop thinking you are doing it all wrong. Your path doesn't look like anyone else's because it can't. It shouldn't and it won't.
You're not
Okay.
supposed to. Hmm.
I got a few more. Uh, I like this one, Lance. If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet.
Right. Right. Because folks are trying to take your joy.
Okay. They're definitely trying to take your joy. So, if something makes me happy, you won't know about it. You might see it. You might see it, but you won't know about it. I like this
Good.
next one as well. The family you create is more important than the family you come from.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, that's a mouthful right there.
Sure is.
The the more you know yourself, the less you need others' approval.
Wow.
Right? Just because the past didn't turn out like you wanted it to doesn't mean your future can't be better than you ever imagined.
That's right.
Do not let small minds convince you that your dreams are too big. Of course, who would have ever thought that you would be living in a cloud on a mountain?
I
But if
know.
you were dealing with, that's why I always say you can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people. Oh, you gonna go on and live on a mountain in the clouds? There ain't no way. In Africa, that ain't never gonna happen. Now look,
Yep.
uh, let's see, got a few more here.
Take your time. They're
When
good.
you try to please everybody, you almost never please anyone.
Right?
And we cannot become what we want to become by remaining what we are.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. I like this one. You just need to find the ones that are worth suffering for. That's a
Wow.
mouthful right there. Yeah,
Big
that is.
time.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. So today our topic, uh, reverse metamorphosis, teaching the children a new way of viewing their world, using the concept of the egg and how it applies to Black people. Um, and in most ancient cultures, the egg was symbolic of the origins of the universe. This is when you go back into antiquity, you begin to see this esoteric symbol. You know, there are a few of them, but the egg in African culture and folklore, in Chinese culture and folklore, as well as in Hindu culture, you see this analogy of the egg bringing forth life. And Lance, if you would put that first picture up there, this is the one with the different elements. Yeah. So okay. So in our creation story, in our origin story, um, the Dogon, they had a god named Amma. Okay, and Amma was born out of an egg when the egg cracked. But the Nomo, they uttered the sounds of Amma and united the four polarities within herself. Now, when that egg opened, these are the elements, and this is part of the academy's curriculum that I teach to children. These elements came forth. Half of the shell became became the earth, and the other half of the shell became the sky or the cosmic, or we refer to it as the cosmic egg. So all of these elements came out of that egg, and it created what we know as the planet today. So the reason why this is so important, okay, is because when you look at the original concepts in the world, they came from our people. No matter where you search, even when you go back in ancient Chinese or even ancient Hindu, or what they refer to as Indian, or we can just say the whole Asian continent, because there's really no place as Europe. Europe is actually Western Asia. But we see all of these elements coming forward. And so when I actually sat down and looked at this again and went through it, the first couple of times I saw something different. But then this time I saw reverse metamorphosis in another light. And as I was saying, your commentary also was spot on about this. That when we have a reverse metamorphosis, it's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? But this is done through our genetic memory bank, okay? And we pass our great and storied history back through our genetic memory bank, back through the cocoon to the caterpillar, which represents childhood. So by doing this, we ensure that we are empowering every generation that comes behind us. Because certainly, um, what we have been using so far has taken us to a certain level. And I heard somebody say one time, I believe it was a ancient Chinese proverb that it's like once you cross a big river in the boat, it's like dragging the boat back once you get to the land. Okay, some of the kids are coming by. It's probably be a little noisy, but it's okay.
It's
Um,
okay.
yeah. So so when we look at it from that perspective, we see that we have a greater influence than we even know. Thank you for leading the children, sis. Thank you for leading the children. Study hard. Okay, you're gonna be somebody one day. I see you with the blue shirt on. Yup, you're gonna be somebody one day. I see it already. Ah, the little kids get jealous. Okay. Anyway, I had to say something.
Yeah,
But
that was beautiful.
yeah, I always come around the kids and always support them here in this park. But I haven't been here in a minute. But yeah, so the reverse metamorphosis, okay, is the energy. That's why it's so important. And we were talking about this before, Lance, how the music that and you can remove that now, Lance. Thank you. The music and even the artwork, thank you. Even the artwork that we use um, are very important tools that we need to now send back through the cocoon to our caterpillars because the caterpillars actually and this blew my mind when this came to me right here, brother. I always thought, because this is the way we've been taught, right? I always looked at it like, yes, when they go in the cocoon and they metamorphosize, they change into a whole new creature or entity, right? But that's physically. So what if that caterpillar still lives in you spiritually? And boy, that blew my mind.
Wow.
That blew. So that explains why we sometimes what they call backslide or go back to our former ways, right? That kind of made sense to me. And I was like, oh, so even though psychologically we can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people, psych, how you doing? Psychologically, we can, because as we were talking about the two different cells talking to each other before we came on live, where you got Neil, you got Frazier, you got Lance, you got SCURV. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they're all there. those personalities live in us. So I was trying to decide which one is Neil and which one is Fritz. Which one is the caterpillar and which one is the butterfly? I'd have to say, I really would have to say that Neil is the caterpillar. I would have to say that. And but that's not a bad thing. Again, I began to look at this, and both of those are necessary in our
Right.
growth and development. So thus, um, when you go back through that, so this is how our ancestors were able to do what do they call it? Remote viewing or going back through time. They didn't need no time machine and none of that. They had open pineal glands that wasn't um, destroyed by the pollutants in the air, the things we eat, the water. You see what I'm saying? The elements
Yes.
that I showed you were corrupted by these counterfeit spirits that have a godlike complex that have taught us through narratives rather than experiencing true nature through our children, through our caterpillars that we are responsible for developing. But what they do to a lot of brothers, because, and again, I give our sisters a lot of credit for always being there. You know, we can look at the bad side of the things that they have morphed into. One of the reasons, oh, and I wanted to talk about this because these are some statistics that just when you look at, they blow you. Okay, 70. Okay, black people watch 70 hours of television a week, almost twice as much as any other culture.
Mm,
That's 10 hours of TV a day, brother. But there are no
mm.
black shows on TV that's
There you
positive
go.
from what. So who are actually teaching us? Is it the sun you see shining through those trees? Because I knew it was going to happen. Uh, or is it these people that are uploading stuff to you on these TV shows to block your downloads here? If that makes sense. I don't know if I went kind of out there, but
No, it does.
yeah. So so you want to say something, brother Lance?
Oh no, no, no. I was just confirming what you said that it made sense.
Yeah. So that so just like, and I confirm this. Okay, so when you look at the hen doesn't need the rooster to produce an egg. However, that egg will never germinate. No chick will be born out of it. It's called an unfertilized egg. So that principle is all throughout nature. So, but when the rooster and the genetics from the rooster and the hen come together, of course, like us, it's going to produce a fertilized egg or a chick, right? So when you look at the elements in nature, we know what the sun does for us. We know what the trees do for us. But and when you go back through that energy and you allow that energy to come through you, then now you're going back to your roots, right? Your foundation. But again, there are those that work day and night to block your pineal gland. Um, and really, to be honest with you, we can solve these issues very easily. Okay. But we have to change our ways. We have to. Um, if you would put the picture up of the egg, the cosmic egg, brother Lance, I appreciate it. Not that one, the cosmic egg. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can see this. Um, But here, when this revelation was given to me, it was sort of like what I was trying to explain earlier, only in the sense that the cosmic egg is an etheric symbol, okay, or it's a spiritual symbol. It's electromagnetic in nature. But you see the egg there, you see the sun there, and you see the yin and yang symbol. And three-fourths of the earth is water, where you see the white, and then the blue is land. So this transference, so it took me back to your birthday, brother, how powerful you are, and the eclipse.
Wow.
See, we still do not comprehend fully what that eclipse, that is when this shift took place. They can't turn it back. As you can see, the Netaru are controlling nature. No man can stop it, or no woman, I don't care what type of religious rhetoric they use, or spells, or whatever. Nothing can stop this because there has been a gross violation of the creator creatrix's divine laws. So when that cosmic egg releases that energy, it goes through this actual egg that's there, okay? That sun, okay? Now they have corrupted our sign, the pyramid, which I took back. Okay, I acknowledge there may be these evil people that our people worship, but this sign was built not just physically, mentally, but also spiritually by our people. And it connected us as above, so below. Um, but then you see the cosmic portal there, represented by the tree. Now, this is where a lot of our people who have this gift, like you, brother Lance, the astrotheology, okay, or what they like to call metaphysics. This is the birth channel for the universe. And we see Dignesh, who is the oldest DNA on the planet. A lot of brothers get upset with that, but we're talking facts. This is not emotions. And the point I was trying to make with the hen being able to use to fertilize or be able to bring forth an unfertilized egg, Amma in the Dogon story actually uh, put a seed within herself. And this is what opened up this portal because the egg cracked. Okay. So we see those elements that I showed earlier, along with the principles, they are here in this egg, the birth canal. Um, and so we see over here on my left, maybe you're right, not sure, but we see the seeds. Okay, we see the physical seeds and we see the spiritual and psychological seeds. But it all begins, as I said earlier, as an electromagnetic wave, which the nuclei is carbon, 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons. You're a carbon being. This is why those entities that always talking about 666, why they bring that up to fear mongering about some antichrist, okay, when this is all orchestrated to turn you away from who you really are. Then you look at the earthly or the organic component of it, okay, which is the tree. Okay, brother, you can move that. Um, so the so we see how that so when we reverse that, what I just showed you from the tree, the organic aspect to the egg, the universal egg, the cosmic egg, okay, which the cocoon represents, and then we send that back in the form of electromagnetic frequency to our children, then now we begin to see the power that we have, which those that oppose this power, and see, this is something that I've said before, and I'm going to say it again. I know a lot of people that are outside of our culture are going to get upset and take this the wrong way, but we're way beyond worrying about that now. Our people are catching hell by design and continuing. So we're going to intercede for our children now. We're not going to allow this to be passed down to them. But so when we look at the fact that nature is now galvanizing, or the Netaru is now galvanizing all of its forces, we're connected to that. This is why Black people are hated so much. And so it's almost like people can't understand. How is that possible when other people have 98%, maybe 99% of all the resources in the land? How does this make sense? You know, it doesn't make sense. So now, this egg, and Lance, you could put the last visual up for me, because I want to explain the manifestation of what happens with this particular law here, the law of correspondence. As above, so below. And we know we talk about this all the time, but I wanted to explain what's actually going on. So within this whole energy vortex that I just explained from the other visual, we know that there is joy and pain associated with this because of the law of polarity. Okay. But we see here within that the pain of the birth process that our sisters go through, and no, men can't have children. So let's stop this nonsense. But through that pain and suffering, a son is born. You see that son there. Okay. So when that happens, the cosmic egg, in the form of pollination, brings life and joy into the world. That pain, that birth pain, and I still have the mark on my hand when Linda was going through with my oldest son, 5 hours of labor. When that birth happens and that cry comes out, the energy changes from pain and suffering to pure life and joy. Okay. And this is translated, as we showed with the tree, through the organic and natural processes once that egg is open, both on a spiritual, psychological, and a physical plane. So now, what happens on the other side of this joy, this life? Your attention has turned to fiat. That is what has become your God. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be rewarded for the work you put in, whatever kind of work it is. But that should never supersede, okay, how you treat your brothers and sisters, the things that are important in our community. And we see the results of this wicked behavior that chasing after this causes. It's honey when you first get it. Oh, I have enough money to do whatever I want. Yeah, you do. Okay, but that is a big deception that some people don't need. One of the reasons why, um, and I laugh because I'm thinking about what Dr. George Frazier said when he was flying. I believe he said he was going to Houston, Texas. And the creator said to him, George, I want you to tell my black friends in Dallas that I'm not giving them any more money because all of the money that I've given them, they have squandered and they haven't used it for my people. And so when you think of it in that context, we know that there's the bitter and sweet correspondence to joy and pain. Okay. And this can get ugly real quick because once it stings you, once you get that honey, but then the sting comes after that and the venom, and then you're looking at spiritual and psychological death, and in some cases, physical death. Certainly, emotional and psychological pain and suffering. And at the end of the day, all of this is artificial. Okay, it's inorganic and it doesn't have seeds. Okay, brother. Thank you so much for the visuals. They do help. Sometimes you get lost for words and they help. But and so as I begin to really deal with this whole, how are you, like Malcolm said, only a fool would allow his enemy or someone else to teach their children. The way things are now, you don't physically have to be near children to affect them, because certainly 70 hours of TV a week is having a major impact. If you get out like I do, you see our kids on the buses, our children on the buses, and see them out here, and you get the real research, or like Lance likes to say, the boots on the ground experience. You don't see what they tell you on TV, you see the reality of our people. And see, this is why we have always been hoodwinked in this area. But at the end of the day, the reverse metamorphosis has to begin to take place. Because now, when I thought about it, in conclusion, when I thought about this, yeah, okay, you can become a butterfly, but then what does that mean? Just like when you become a millionaire, what does that mean? Because you can use that for good and evil. It all depends on you. So in your butterfly state, okay, and I wanted to use this analogy because now the black folks gonna be upset with me. But so many times when our best, or I should say, the best that we produce, okay, in the sense of their abilities, okay, because all of us are the best. All of us have abilities that no one else has. But I just wanted to use this to kind of prove a point that we leave our community, we leave the caterpillars behind, and then we complain about the caterpillars that we were sent to actually teach. Okay. So, this blew my mind when this revelation came to me and this inspiration that, yes, you're a butterfly, but what does that mean? What are you doing with your wings? Are you looking down from a mountain with clouds? I couldn't avoid that one, the brother Legs. Uh, Good joke. Are you actually feeding our people every day like our good brother? This is the question you have to ask yourself, because the creator is going to elevate you to that position. But what are you going to do with those wings? And so as you fly around, okay, as a butterfly, and you look down and you see your caterpillar community, okay, don't talk down. Don't do with the coons what they pay them to do. We know we have problems in our issues in our community. Some that were manufactured externally, and some or most that are manufactured internally. So we can continue to play the blame game, okay, but that doesn't do anything for us moving forward. And so, in closing, I wanted to use the analogy why I was saying that, most black folks might get upset. Oh, I got mine. Them niggas ain't gonna do nothing but throw away. This may be true, but that doesn't mean that you can't contribute to a community center where our children go. That doesn't mean you can't take an hour rather than go out and doing having fun, which you should have fun. I have fun too. But don't forget the caterpillars. Send something back through the cocoon with the reverse metamorphosis, and you'll see great results. So have a great day, brother. Thank you for all the work
Thank
that
you.
you do. Yes, sir.
Thank
And
you so much.
yes, sir.
I can't wait for
Monday,
next week.
yeah, I'll be on time from now on Mondays. Just some hiccups here and there.
No, we understand, brother. We definitely
Yeah.
understand.
So keep up the great work you're doing, and I try to keep up with you, but when I can. But yeah, your stream, you're like a live stream 24/7 channel.
It will be soon. It will be soon. And download that app so I can show you some things and you'll see what's
Okay.
coming. And I'm looking forward to this whole time. A lot of ideas I have that deal with you and bringing you in even deeper. And all of the old shows that I have of you are going to be up within the next 2 weeks, all of them. So I got
Oh
a lot of
wow.
work to do. And I'll explain how everything is easier now. So now it's
Yeah.
really going to be on and popping. Everything is easier. The workflow, the way things are set up. And I'm just very happy.
Well, that's great news, brother.
Thank you so
And
much.
yeah, and give my regards to your queen, and you guys
Almost
continue
definitely.
to do what you're doing. And I'll talk to you next week.
Okay, brother. Thank you. Just
Okay.
reach out anytime. Much respect.
to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir, I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Can't be a real, might get you canceled. The whole system need to dismantle. Coppers treated like the utmost wanted. Tryna rule the block but don't know what goes on it. News got a story with a new take on me. Carrying out the window with the screw face on me. But I know that God love me when my burn 95 degrees and I can't get sunburn. Wonder when your government don't make me legal. Burn the whole city if I can't be equal. Get off my please, Brad, I earned that. 400 years, how you still ain't learned that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir, I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Shout out to the trying to gentrify the genre. Tell them free my middle finger to your honor. End of days coming down to seconds on the timer. Goofy still trying to purchase that designer. About to buy, learn to grow my own food. Cause I don't like the look they give me in the Whole Foods. And when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But it ain't on me now, I'm limping cause my heavy. But ain't sweet, think we thin. My whole attitude on MC Ren. It's my neighborhood now, Bob, I bought that. 400 years, how you still ain't caught that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir, I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real.